Hello and welcome to another episode of the movie review show on Blades Boy Videos. Today's a little bit different than usual. Usually we would review the hottest releases that come out the weekend before the show. This week, however, we only saw one film this weekend and it was Deadpool. So instead we're going to do a special for Deadpool. We're going to give you a non-spoiler review and then I'm going to go in and talk spoilers galore for all those that couldn't wait to see the movie just like me. Just want to let you know that there were a couple of missed weeks this time round. Last week, literally life intervened. I had to look after my baby boy. There was loads of stuff I had to get done and I couldn't actually get to the cinema. The week before, I saw a lot of god-awful movies, some really poor movies, and I was putting the clip together. 4 movies in total, and I was going less than 10 minutes of awfulness. So, sorry, I didn't want to put out something that I wasn't happy with myself, so we canned that week's as well. Now, we're back up, special. Hopefully next week everything will go according to plan, and come Monday morning, the review show will be back up. So, Deadpool was directed by Tim Miller. It stars Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson or Deadpool. Marina Baccarin, sorry if I butchered that name, she plays Vanessa. You will probably most likely know her from the Gotham TV series, and she was also in Homeland. TJ Miller stars as Weasel, and Ed Skrein stars as Ajax, or Ajax, one of the two. Can't fully remember. The story is basic. It's a love story that turns into a revenge mission, like we've seen before many times over. However, this movie takes itself serious and parodies itself at the same time, whilst also parodying the whole comic book genre, all in the same film, with almost a bit of stand-up comedy in there as well. It's pretty intense. The meta humour is incredible. You're literally laughing at a joke, missing another joke, and then just catching the next joke before you laugh again. It's not continuous laughing throughout the entire movie, but my god, if you are a fan of the genre, if you are a fan of parodies, and if you are a fan of Ryan Reynolds in general and his type of humour, it's perfect. If you are a geek like myself, love the comic book genre and superheroes and all those types of movies, you're going to love this for the Easter eggs alone. The movie is literally littered in Easter eggs. For a movie that is 108 minutes long, and that's including credits, there are over 100 proven Easter eggs within this movie. It is pretty spectacular. In the spoiler part of the review, I will go through some of those Easter eggs that really stood out to me. The whole fourth wall breaking, well, we all now know, due to the amazing marketing campaign, that Deadpool breaks the fourth wall. In the comic books, he regenerates so quickly that he is of a higher consciousness and knows that he is in a comic book, and this film, Deadpool damn sure knows he is in a movie. There are points where even the soundtrack becomes a parody of itself. The cast was really, really great. Ed Skrein does exactly what we want from a villain. TJ Miller gives a perfect character for Deadpool to bounce off of. Marina Baccarin, so sorry if I mispronounced that name, she's brilliant as the attracting crazy. There's a line, it's not really a spoiler of the film, so I'm going to say it in this review, where Deadpool says, "Your crazy fits my crazy perfectly," something like that. And you know, as the audience member, I bought into that. I buy it, and I'm sure you will as well. It really is the smartest dumb action movie that I personally have ever seen. From start to finish, you'll either be laughing or cringing or about to laugh, or maybe a bit of both, maybe a bit of a cringe laugh. It's great, it's fun, there's action. If all you want is explosions, gunfire, people getting chopped up, then this movie's for you. If what you want is comedy and you just want to laugh and have a good time, this movie's for you. If what you want is a film that presents itself as something, but is so meta and deep. It is involved on multiple different levels. This movie is for you. I literally don't know who this movie isn't for. I personally say it's one of my favourite comic book films I have ever seen. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. And you know, I'm stingy with my 10s. I won't give my 10s away. I'd probably give it to about 3 movies ever. So the fact that this gets a 9.5, trust me when I say this, it's a great movie. I always do my rating and then my rewatchable. I think those two are completely different. You can have a great movie that you don't want to rewatch, or you can have a terrible movie that you can't wait to rewatch. In this time, this is a great movie, 9.5, and my rewatchability, I would watch it tomorrow. In fact, today, now. I'd watch it now. I'd just put it on now, and I'm sure even after watching it 5 times, I will still say, can we not put Deadpool on again? So, now I'm going to talk spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, pause me, don't turn me off, don't be rude. Pause me, or hand me to your liked videos, right? Go watch it, bugger off now, go to your local cinema. If you're watching this recent to me uploading it, it's on all the time. Seriously, in America, domestic, it made 132 million or something in its first weekend. Go watch it, it's still going to be out. It's incredible. Come back, and then what we'll do is we'll talk like we watched it together, and you can find out what I really liked, and then if you pop in your comments what you really liked, what you disagree with me about, what you agree with me about, that would be perfect. So, we're going to start this off. The opening credits is brilliant. You don't see Ryan Reynolds, you don't see Tim Miller, you don't see anybody. It's literally directed by an overpaid douche. It's taking the mick out of itself before it's even started. We all know that Deadpool nearly didn't happen thanks to a great movie, sarcasm, Wolverine Origins. Okay? They destroyed that movie. Deadpool himself, Ryan Reynolds, even questioned himself why they did what they did to Deadpool. You don't saw the merc with their mouth shut, but they did. And it was pretty much canned from then on, right up until that leaked test footage came out where we, about 2 years ago, got super excited, shared the video, and tried to get everyone that they could to go, this movie will be awesome. You know what? The movie is awesome. I'm sure now that you've seen it, you can completely agree with me. The suit is perfect to the comic book. It's perfect. Even the eyes. Now that we're watching it, the eyes are part of the suit. They can't be animated, but they are. It reminds me of how Bane in The Dark Knight Rises would speak through his eyes. Tom Hardy did a phenomenal job there. Well, this is Deadpool, and he doesn't have a mouth, and he sort of speaks through these animated eyes. It's really cool to watch. Some of my favourite jokes from the movie went really between Colossus and Deadpool, when Colossus says, I'm taking you to the professor, and handcuffs Deadpool, and Deadpool asks which one, McAvoy or Stewart. These alternate universes are really confusing. That had me in stitches. I was laughing 5 minutes later from that, just thinking back at how clever that one line is, how this film really does not give a crap. Whilst he's handcuffed as well, he turns to the camera and says, have you seen 127 hours? Spoilers! And then cuts his own hand off. That had me in stitches as well. And it happens literally immediately afterwards. It's what I mean when you get a joke given to you and then you're still laughing before the next joke hits. So Deadpool can regenerate, and he starts to regenerate this little baby hand. That's hilarious as well. He ends up stroking this blind woman's face with his little hand, and he tells her to leave because obviously he will feel much bigger with that hand. Again, hilarious. Deadpool also ends up at the X-Men mansion, which I thought was brilliant, with one line. He says, why is it that every time I come here there's only you two here? Maybe the studio didn't have enough budget for this, or something like that. Again, completely breaking the fourth wall, completely knowing he's in a movie. Hilarious. There's another scene where he takes his mask off and there's a Hugh Jackman mask on top of Ryan Reynolds, which is hilarious. It's on multiple different levels, sort of saying that Deadpool is the new Wolverine, as well as who else has had their own story, their origin story, Wolverine. Nobody else in the Fox universe has, apart from Deadpool. You know, so there's multiple different ways that every joke is told and the way you can take it. Some of my favourite Easter eggs, and this film really is Easter egg galore. A couple of them are for Ryan Reynolds directly, and they're the ones that really resonated with me. Particularly, he has a little figure of the Deadpool from Wolverine Origins with his mouth shut on his table. I thought that it must have been about 6 or 7 frames worth of footage that you saw that for, but that had me laughing, pointing at the screen. And the other one was the Green Lantern playing card that he has in his wallet. Absolutely fantastic. Obviously, we know he takes the mick out of Green Lantern already because of the trailers. You know, don't make the suit green or animated as he's being dragged away. The music also parodies when he's on the final battle with X-Men Colossus and Megasonic Teenage Warhead, or Negasonic Teenage Warhead. It's either an M or an N, I can't fully remember. But X Gon Give It To You plays. Obviously he's with the X-Men, he's part of the X-Force, and it looks like they're going to build the X-Force. That song was brilliant. I listened to that and was like, even that in itself is an Easter egg. There are some scenes, however, where it's not all sunshine and rainbows and blood and laughing and gore. There are scenes when he's been tortured because the mutant genes that he's either injected with or has in his body require the adrenaline that comes to being nearly dead. So in order to awaken them genes, they have to put him through some horrific torture scenes, some claustrophobic scenes, and there's one where Deadpool's going mental, or Wade Wilson at this point, is going mental within his cubicle type thing, and you're like, oh, okay, he's not being funny here, he's kind of in a bit of pain. So to put them scenes in a movie that's like a parody and a joke, and then it takes itself serious, and then it brushes all the serious stuff away, that's pretty cool. There's one other scene that I just want to mention, and I heard a bit of story from this scene. It's the one just after they've collected all the guns in the bags, just before X Gon Give It To You. They pull up in the taxi, they get out, they've left the bag in the taxi. Taxi's gone off, he's crashed, there's someone in his boot. So they ain't getting them guns back. Deadpool goes, we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. That scene was there because the movie didn't have the budget to go through all those weapons, to have all those special effects, explosions. It was a $30 million budget. So it's surprising how they did as much as they did. So what they had to do is take it all out. Now the fact that they even had them all in, they left them in the damn taxi, the taxi's buggered off, the taxi's crashed with a body in his boot because of advice that Deadpool gave him earlier. That is genius, and I was sold. That probably was my favourite moment of the film. And then we go all the way to the end credit scene where we find out Cable is joining in Deadpool 2. There is no better person to play Cable than this guy. Yep, this guy. See this guy? See Cable. See Cable? See this guy. So, that was my spoiler review. Before that was my non-spoiler review. Maybe you skipped the non-spoiler review. And if you did, well, I rate this film a 9.5 out of 10. And its rewatchability, I have written down formally tomorrow. Though I did earlier say I would watch it right now, and even after my 5th viewing, I would still watch it right now. So, great, that's my review. It's this week's movie review show. It is a special on Deadpool. That's because all we managed to do is watch Deadpool this weekend, and it's been a couple of weeks that we haven't done a movie review show, so I wanted to do something a little bit more special, and as this is such a big movie and so many people have seen it, I think it warrants a spoiler review. Plus there are so many things in it. It's quite difficult to spoil this movie, apart from to go through some of the jokes and some of the Easter eggs that we've been through, which I would have been absolutely devastated at if I'd have heard about them before I'd seen the movie. Fortunately, all I had subjected myself to before watching this movie was simply the fantastic marketing material that they put out. Thanks for watching. You've been awesome. I hope I've been awesome.